So moving on to the next vehicle that we saw in 2018 at the LA Auto Show, the Audi E-Tron GT. And, I like that car. I liked it when I saw it again in pre-production form. I'm not going to call it a concept because it's pretty much the same thing.
You've always been a bit of a sucker for big Audis that are a bit low to the ground, if I'm not mistaken.
Who isn't, right? I mean, this is a car that's you've got a really low roof line. It's wide. It's sinister looking. What I want to talk with you about, though, is we talk about this, and I wrote about this actually, is we talk about electric vehicle platforms enabling the design. And obviously, this car is based on the J platform, which is the same platform that underpins the Porsche Taycan. And I think what they've done, and economies of scale, obviously, Porsche and Volkswagen Group needs to recoup some of their expenditure on this platform, which must have been extremely, extremely expensive to create. And so they're going to be trickling it out. I don't doubt that we're going to be seeing it not only in the Porsche brand and the Audi brand, but perhaps even in another brand. We'll see what it does actually underpin in the future. But I think they've done, so from the Audi team, they've done a good job utilizing, and platform sharing is, back in the day, badge engineering was commonplace, right? I mean, manufacturers thought they could pull the wool over their eyes of their customers. But again, like I said, developing a platform costs money. The fact that this is based on the same exact platform with many of the hard points, no doubt, of the Porsche Taycan, the only real obvious thing to me is the roof line, right? I mean, it's identical, and the proportions are similar, right? But the way that they've addressed the surfacing, the way that they've addressed the lighting, the overall kind of aesthetic appeal of the e-tron is very much in the Audi vein. There's no mistaking it for any other car. I mean, the fact that they kept the single frame, and with the Taycan, obviously it's referencing the 911 with no grille. I think Porsche is more kind of stuck in heritage than Audi. So anyway, what's your take on that? Because it very much is the same car, save for some dressing. The interior, again, same hard points, same kind of constraints, but looks very different as well.
Yeah, I don't know. There's many different things that could be said. I think that two or three different big perspectives on that one, Eric. One would be, well, because we are familiar with the Taycan, it came out first, we somehow perceive the Audi to be a reskinned Porsche. You could argue that maybe, was that really the full story? What happened? Maybe they were totally twins all the way through. Yep. Maybe it was first an Audi reskinned as a Porsche. I don't know the backstory.
Indeed.
But that, of course, is one thing to hold in our heads. Clearly, they do share a lot. I think in my mind, they share more than would be optimal from a market-facing perspective. It looks like they share glasshouse. It looks like, a lot is shared. And in my mind, and I was speaking about this with somebody not long ago, I think the key big, if you like, critical issue I have with this, or criticism I have of it, is that Audi is a bona fide proper premium brand. They didn't used to be. And then they did some stakes in the ground way back when. 1981, Audi Quattro. 1982, Audi 100. And, they've had other stakes in the ground. The R8 wasn't that long ago, the TT, the original A8, so forth, all aluminium cars. They did these stakes in the ground. They showed what was strong technique, but they brought a design story with it too. And their flagship products, whether it's an A8 or whether it's an R8 or even the TT, and back in the day, the Quattro, these were all distinct vehicles. They were not borrowing from something else. They were authentic. And yet here we have essentially a flagship Audi, and now it's a proper premium brand. It's not like pretending anymore. Mm-hmm. And yet the flagship's apparently a Porsche. And I think that is odd. I think odd is maybe the polite word, because not everybody will know. And they'll say, well, our customers don't know. And then they'll say, well, actually, our customers don't care. It's like, no, some of them will care, actually. And many of them will know. And actually, even if they don't know, the people who are experts, who are opinion leaders and whom they hold in high esteem, and let's not forget, they're spending a lot of money on this car. It's going to make a big statement. They do not need to have that eroded. People will be saying, well, that is a reskinned Porsche, or at least even if it's a cool Audi, actually, it's not really an Audi. And I think this issue of what is it really, it's authenticity to brand. I think that's the challenge here, because particularly going forwards, we've got a world of electrification. We don't have fast-cylinder engines anymore. quattro powertrain suddenly doesn't really mean much, or if anything. So technological differentiation is something which is almost 20th century. And yet, surely, if you own a portfolio of brands, particularly ones that are sort of appealing at a high level and on technological leadership, to then blur the ingredients across that, particularly at the top level, particularly on the image leading products, I think that's questionable. I'm sure there's cost reasons to do it, but what I think they're failing to see is the benefit reasons, if you like, and the things that potentially they're opening themselves up to. So I think it's a shame that they've done that. Even though, yeah, hats off to the design team. It looks like an amazing thing, as does the Taycan. Everybody's got different tastes, but fundamentally, it's hard to see anything there that does not make sense, that wasn't well executed, that doesn't fit to the brand, that hasn't maximized differentiation. Great design job, but strategically, from a group point of view, product planning point of view, I think it's questionable. I really do. I think they should have tried harder to find points of differentiation in the package. I think they should have fundamentally looked to show how an Audi can be an Audi properly on a technical basis, not just a design perspective. So design group did a great job, but I do question the sort of product planning and, if you like, engineering strategy that underpins that, because I think it's a real missed opportunity.
Okay. No, that's brilliant. I mean, I think we'll leave it at that. I mean, you're absolutely right. And what you say, you're agreeing with me essentially in that the design team did do a wonderful job in differentiating. I mean, even the sound design is going to be different on this car, but perhaps that's not enough.